I think it's quite right that there's actually, it's quite correct that there's very little empirical data. Let's try to link flexible learning spaces to student achievement. I mean, I suppose we need to really go back and see whether when open plan learning had its heyday, whether there was any of this kind of research done then. But I always hasten to add that open plan classrooms and flexible learning spaces are quite different. They really are not the same. They're really not the same phenomenon. There is an increasing body of research that's emerging now that's trying to show relationships between space and student outcomes. But to be fair, a lot of the learning environments research in the past has focused on well, Blackmore in Australia and her team did a big lit review in 2011. And they talk about tangible and intangible elements. And many of the American architectural design researchers, spoke about the benefits of space and environment on student well-being, student engagement, teacher well-being, and the idea that actually people can develop good citizenship qualities in a good space. So there's been an attempt to link spatiality to positive dispositions, at least, and positive outcomes in that sense. But in terms of hard data and will students actually get better grades being in this flexible space than they will in that traditional space, that really I don't think has been done at all. Byers over in Melbourne, his thesis was really based at the school where he still works, where they develop progressively flexible spaces within the school. So it was kind of retrofitting, and they did a very careful plan of action and got teachers ready for that move. But I mean, his final conclusion really is that actually it's kind of Hattie's conclusion. It's all about the teacher, and if we look at what Gilbert's research is sort of suggesting, she's kind of saying, I think her favorite term is something like, well, if you don't change the software, it doesn't matter how much you change the hardware, nothing's going to change. So it's really if you don't change the teacher mindset, you're not going to achieve much. So, and I know that I've often, over the years, I've said to students, well, and this is just portraying my kind of African background. So, technically you should be able to teach just as well, with a slate under a tree as you can in a, big flash space. But technically speaking, in that big flash space, you ought to be able to achieve a lot more